What is up? What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Silver Surfer channel, and wanted to share with you guys a video of some more of my raw coins. So I mentioned in the prior video, which I'll leave a link to that video below, a lot of coins I inherited when I was a kid from my dad that started my coin collecting endeavors were all raw. This album here is a Lighthouse album. It's I'll show you guys here as I flip through it in a minute. It's not the greatest for viewing pleasure on the camera I just tried to do. You can see how it's like whittled, the plastic kind of pieces. But so the first page is the worst, which is why I pulled out these coins here to show you guys. Subsequent pages, though, I have all the coins in the actual plastic slips, and we'll just do our best to go ahead and check those out. But in the meantime, I want to share with you guys, these are some of the better coins that I have and pulled out. Some of these were inherited, some of these I bought to have type coins. And so we'll kick this off with the 1828 half cent. It's a neat coin. On the back side, the half cent denomination just is fascinating to me. I mean, what this could have bought back in 1828 must have been quite a bit of money. Half cent today, you can't even wipe your rear end with, and you know, it's probably cheaper to wipe it with this as it is for toilet paper. 1851 half cent. The design's a little changed here. Another nice early copper. There's a whole group of individuals that are big copper nerds. Yeah, I'm not one of those, but I do find them fascinating. You can spend your whole lifetime studying it. This is an 1807/6 large cent. This is a better coin here, guys. I forget how much I paid for it, but it wasn't all that inexpensive either. It's a nice looking coin. Big old 1 cent. I love that 1 in 1,000 at the bottom center there that you can see, denoting 1 cent. So that's a cool one. All right, moving on. What do we got? We got the 1814 classic head, another large cent. This one's kind of rougher shape. I mean, I think it's a straight grade, good, but circulated. Again, 1 cent back in this time bought you quite a bit of things. Moving on, what do we got here? We got the 1838. So this one definitely was in my little collection from my pops. Threw it in a flip. There's a nice chocolatey brown looking one. 1845, another large cent. Pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, here's a little, what is this? 1851 large cent. Pretty neat. Also got that from my dad. And then this is at 1858. So this is the first of the small size cents, which came out in 1856. And James Barton Longacre was the artist for this. And I actually really enjoy this design. The eagle reminds me of the Gobert dollar eagles. And I'd love to get a proof, an 1856 proof, but man, they're really expensive. But anyway, so this was 1858 was the same year that the Indian cent came out, Indian head cent. And yeah, so that's that kind of thing. But whoops, all right, it's a little wobbly here. I'm just picking this tripod up to hopefully show you guys. So hopefully this looks a little bit clearer than the first page. And just a type collection of some coins. So this is a 1910s, better date, Lincoln cent. Moving on, I showed that in a prior video. That is a love token with my initials actually on there. I found on a Seed of Liberty dime, so that's just fascinating. These are essentially the precursors to hobo nickels. My buddy, Make Numismatics Great Again, great dude, sent me this, and it's a Civil War token, so pretty neat. I also bought this from Make Numismatics Great Again, 1862 encased postage stamp. I think I might have did a video on these. So these came out during the Civil War when the currency shortage happened, and coinage shortage, I should say. Thus the influx of a large amount of paper money and paper money for the federal government in general. But some very smart individuals who were merchants and stuff use these to, one, advertise once the government approved postage stamps or currency to help aid in the reduction of coins in circulation. Some very clever individuals came up with the idea to use their own personal advertisements on the back of these things, and I'll show you the back here soon, as currency. So that's pretty fascinating. All right, moving on. This is an original hobo nickel, carved probably in the early teens time period. I did a whole video on this. But really like that. These things are really expensive. I bought this from one of the most famous hobo nickel collections ever assembled. It's an 1864 2-cent piece, another interesting coin. And another 1864, a little bit better looking one here. This is the first time that God We Trust was placed on a coin. You can see it in the ribbon there above the shield. All right, so moving on. Where's that hobo nickel at? So you can see on the back, or not the hobo nickel, on the back of the, there it is. So this is an Ayers Cathartic Pills. Someone who had the runs, there you go. That's the back of that encased postage stamp. And again, the graininess or this whittled kind of appearance is just the plastic itself, so I apologize for that, but that's the back of the hobo nickel. What do we got here? The back of the 2-cent piece and the back of the 3-cent piece. Did I show that? Did I skip that? Oh, I did skip that. I'm sorry. This was inherited. This is a nice coin, man. 1853 3-cent silver. These are such tiny little guys here, but a neat piece there, man. I mean, that's a better couple dollar coin. All right, moving on. What else do we do? We got some extra type coins here. 1865 3-center. Got a shield nickel. Got a 1903 V nickel. Little Charles Barber. And then we got a buff 35S. What do we got? We got a 38 Jeff. We got a 38D. And we got a 38S. It's kind of a nice. That's the first year of the Jefferson nickel, so Gramps had all 3 of those and gave them obviously to my dad, and then who gave them to me. This coin was also in the stack of coins. No, I'm sorry. Actually, I got this from the Long Beach coin show when I was a kid. And it looks like I paid, what, $9 maybe for it? 1829 half dime, man. Wild. First year issue of those. Yep, got that at the Long Beach coin show at Mama back in the day. And then the backs, again, that stupid looking whittled appearance. I'm not going to pull all these coins out. You guys know what they look like for the most part. Just trying to alter the page a little bit so you can see as best as possible. All right, moving on. What else do we got here? Wrapping this up. What do we got? We got an 1854 half dime. Little Seed of Liberty. We got a 33 capped bust dime. A nicer coin. These are fun. These are the mini Gobrits, 1837 dime. It's hold. Again, this is in the stack of coins that I got from my folks. But someone wore that as a jewelry piece at one point in time. 1853 Seed of Liberty dime. Moving on up, 1876. 91 seeded dime. There's a Barber 13S. That's a better date coin there. Got some Mercs, 43. It's a nice link, or Rosie. Nice silver Rosie right there. This is a cool coin, 1875 S20 center. This is a better coin. Also was in the stash of coins that I inherited. Such a fascinating piece there, man. This quarter, I believe I also got at the Long Beach coin show as a kid. I want to say my mom bought me this one, 1854. This was in the bag of stuff, 1876. And just the backs, if we can get them, of some of these things here. An old 20-cent piece. I like that reverse. Almost reminds me of the Mexican eagle with the serpent in its mouth, the Mexican flag. Again, you guys all know Seed of Liberty is my favorite coin design. Big fan of them. Actually working on trying to get a Stars on Obverse proof right now, which are much more difficult to come by because it's only 1858 and 1859 as affordable. All the rest before that are very expensive because the proof coins were not really invented until about 1858, at least for the public's purposes. So the mintages on them are very low, but maybe another time for another video. Here's a Barber quarter. This one I definitely got at Long Beach Coin Show. Look at that, I paid $4.25 for it, or my mom did, I guess. Back in the day, probably 20 plus years ago. Here's a better looking standing lib quarter, 1929S. 64 Washington, threw that in there. 2019 W pulled out from a roll, as I did with all of my Ws. This old cap bus half. 55 seated. Nice and worn down. 77 seeded half. We got some Barbers as well. So we got a 1899S, 1902 Philly, 1908, and 1909. So yeah, I can show you guys the back here. This is what I got. This is the excess stuff that I said. A little bit better coins, maybe worth a little bit more than, you know, kind of their silver content. Especially that 20-cent piece, that half dime, Cat Bus half dime, you know, and the 3-cent silver. Those coins are worth a little bit more than usual. And yeah, this is all stuff that I got either as a kid for the most part or inherited as a kid. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. You know, do you guys collect raw coins? Again, this is kind of the part 2 to the previous one I had. I'm just gonna try and get this tripod situated. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you collect this kind of stuff, you know? It's, you know, this old school way of coin collecting, and I really enjoy it. So I appreciate you guys watching. Throw me a comment and a like down below if you don't mind. And until next time, Silver Surfer is out.